Okay, here we have Pump House Scotch Ale. It comes from a local brewery from, I believe, in New Brunswick, Pump House Brewery. They have several beers. They have like a blueberry beer, I think a raspberry wheat beer, or is that Garrison? I can't remember at the moment, but they do have several beers, and most of them are actually quite excellent. And this is my favorite of all of them. Okay, so it's a 4.8%. It's an ale. It's a very dark ale. I'll just open this sucker up. Put it in my Leffe glass, or my Leffe glass, however you want to pronounce it. Now, I don't know how dark this is going to look on the camera, but this is actually dark enough that it can, I guess you could consider it really a brown ale, more like Newcastle brown. Okay. So we'll just move that back like that a bit. Take a look. Yeah, it looks pretty much pitch black, at least on my LCD screen here. But yeah, it's not actually pitch black. You can see through it a bit, but it is a very dark brown. Very dark, amber, brownish kind of color. Okay, so I'm going to take a smell of it here. Oh. Now that is something worth smelling. That's something I could smell all night. It's got a very roasted wood, kind of smoky smell to it, kind of sort of like, yeah, sort of the roasted, sort of like roasted wood kind of smell to it. Smoke flavor. Now we'll take a sip of it here. And the smell translates right to the taste. It's a very bitter, kind of roasted taste. Now that might turn some people off. Most people are probably used to drinking lighter beers, ales and lagers that are, you know, more golden in color. But this is a very worthwhile way to, you know, indoctrinate oneself into the dark side, so to speak. This is just a lovely, lovely, smoky, dark roasted flavor that, if you give it a chance, there's a little hint of sweetness underneath all of it, and you can almost consider it a stout. It's so pronounced in its roasted flavor, but really it's more like a really extreme version of Newcastle brown, if you've ever had that. God, that's good. It's one of my favorite beers. Okay, so this is Pump House Scotch Ale. This definitely gets a 4.5 out of 5, especially if you're a lover of darker beers. This is like one of the top ones you're gonna find. It's cream of the crop, really. And if you've never had a darker ale before, if you've never had a stout, if you've never had brown ales, this is a very good way to introduce yourself to them. Like, it's a very drinkable beer, has a lot of character, a lot of texture, a lot of flavor, and it can really show someone who's not as experienced in drinking beer just what they can find out there. There's a lot more than just standard crappy beer off the tap and crappy generic beer in the bottle. So, Pump House Scotch Ale, 4.5 out of 5. If you're in the Maritimes, seek it out.